Welcome to the annual Castle Break games where you'll be playing against your competitors to see who can be the first to free the dragon in Dragon's Tower. But in order to do so, you will first need 3 keys which will unlock the 3 gates into the tower. So how do you get your keys? Well, that's easy if you're good. Your objective is to complete a series of quests. These are your quest cards. Okay, for each quest that you complete, you will be rewarded in coin. The more difficult the quest, the higher the reward. For example, a 1 coin quest might have you searching for 2 items and taking them to a specific room, one room. In this example, it's collect 1 drink item and 1 piece of currency, take them to the stables, and exchange them for a coin. Okay? For your more difficult quests, this is a 3-point quest, 3 coin quest, you will see there's actually 2 steps. This whole process is going to require 4 items and 2 different rooms. So you have 1, 2, and 3 coin quests. So getting your game set up, it's pretty simple. We're just going to lay out the Castle Break game board and the die, put the die in the center to start. Then you're going to have each player pick a character piece. I'm going to play Ludin. Okay, he's the red character, and they're going to take the appropriate action card or reference card to go along with it. Now, the reference card is very, very important because you will see on one side, it is going to tell us all of the actions we can play on every one of our turns. So if you're in the middle of the game and you're not sure what you can do on this turn, you can pick this up and use it as a reference. As well, on the back, it lists every single type of item and weapon and trade good, okay, and tells you what category they're in. So this is also good during the game when you're searching for certain items, okay? After each player takes their game piece and their reference card, you're just gonna take the coins, place them off to the side. Next, we're gonna talk a little bit about the cards, where they go and how to play them. All right, now let's go through the cards. There are 5 different types of cards. So first, make sure you shuffle each one of them. We also suggest that you use someone as a dealer, and you can put the cards off to the side and they can hand out cards or distribute cards as needed. But we want to start with the quest cards, which we've shown you already. Okay, this is an example of a 2 coin card. So that means there's going to be multiple items to gather and 1 room to go to. One of the cool things that we did with the reference cards is not only, number 1, does it show you the value of the card here, we've given you a quick reference here. So it shows you that you're going to have to go to the stables and you are going to need 2 food items and 1 swinging weapon. So these circles and these codes are going to be match what is on the card that's in front of you, okay? When you receive your card, make sure you place them in the plastic holders that you were given. And the idea of that is that during the game, you can easily reference the card without having it laying flat or laying down, and your opponent still can't see what you're searching for to complete your quest. We have 4 decks of cards left, and these are the ones that are going to be held in your hand or in front of you that are exposed, and we'll explain that again more in a minute. I'm going to start with the hidden cards because these are ones that you will not use very often. On the 3 coin quest, you will see that they will all request that you find a hidden item. It will tell you where it is, and when you go to that room and collect that item, it will just say something like, find your suit of armor, okay, or there's a special meal or a blessed medallion. But these are only for 3-pointers. You can definitely put your hidden cards well off to the side. You'll only need them a few times during the game. These, however, are the 3 types of cards you're going to be using throughout play, and they are trade goods, tools and weapons, and power cards. Trade goods are the items that you're going to be collecting as you go throughout the castle. So it could be anything from a food item like cheese, a wine, an ale. Let's see what else is here. There's a silver crown, which is jewelry. So on the card itself, you will see it tells you the item. It gives you an image of it, but it also has this J right here, and that means you know that it's a piece of jewelry, okay? So that's pretty simple on the trade good cards. You then have your tools and weapons, very similar to that. Here I have some pliers, I have a sword, I have a chisel, and you can see on the chisel, it says PT, which stands for prying tool. Now remember that you've got your reference card right here, and on the back side of the reference card, it will show you what each one of those items means, okay? So that's tools and weapons. And last but not least is your power cards. Now I'm going to spend a couple extra seconds on the power cards because I really want to explain this to you. Okay, there's a variety of different power cards. I've got a shield, I've got shackles, another shield. Just want to show you some unique ones. Here's a ghost card. Here is an invisibility cloak, okay? On each of your turns, you're going to have the opportunity to play a power card if you choose, and there's a description on the bottom of each power card on how this can be used. For example, the shield is used if somebody plays a card against you, such as tries to put you to sleep with a sleeping potion, or put you in shackles, in which case you would lose a turn. You can play the shield on them. There are the shackles. If I choose to, I can say, Scott, for one of my moves this turn, I'm going to put you into shackles. Scott will lose a turn. A ghost card allows you to move through walls. An invisibility cloak allows you to roll the die and move 3 times that roll. And there's more. There's a fairy dust card. There is a sleeping potion card. One suggestion I might make is just kind of go through the power cards before you start playing the whole deck and before you shuffle them. Give everybody an idea of what the powers are, because some of these are much more valuable at the end of the game versus at the beginning of the game. Quick example is the shield, okay? Chances are early in the game, no one's going to be trying to slow anybody else down. But you get halfway through the game and you realize that Scott is very far ahead of you and you want to slow him down, you might play a potion on him. Well, if he has the shield, that won't take place. Okay? So these are your 3 types of cards: trade goods, tools and weapons, and power cards. Okay, now there are a couple of rules for your cards. Most importantly, you can never have more than 6 total cards in your hand at any given time. These cards are considered protected. So if I were to draw another card, let's say I took another trade good cards and I pulled into my hand, I now have 7, okay? Before my turn can end, I must make sure I lay one down and get down to 6. Now where I lay them down is actually in front of me, and these are what are called exposed cards. So we have protected cards in our hand, nobody can get them, okay? And we have exposed cards here. Now these are available to be traded or stolen from other players. So as you play the game, you're not just drawing cards, you are looking around the table to see what other players might have the items that you need, okay? So a couple notes about the cards is, number 1, you can never lay down a power card. Power cards are not designed to be traded or to be stolen. If you wanted to get rid of a power card to get down to 6, you would simply take it and you would discard the card into the discard pile off the side of the game board, okay? The second thing is, at the very start of the game, for your first move, you must have 3 power cards in your hand. So you will have 3 power cards plus 3 of either trade goods, tools and weapons, or a combination of both. So right from the beginning, you are going to have exposed cards in front of you. Now, as the game goes on, this pile is going to keep growing in front of every player, giving you more options on things that you can steal or trade. You will see that there are 15 rooms within the castle walls, most with multiple entrances. Here at the chapel, I can enter through this side or this side. Here at the guards barracks, I can enter from here and here. Throne room, same thing, okay? There are also 4 tower room walls. These are actually required to go upstairs to access them, okay? Now, you can move around the board simply by moving through the regular spaces and going in and out, playing your power cards, etc. But there's 2 quick options for you. Number 1 is the tunnels. You will see torches in places that seem like it's a dead end and they lead to nowhere. These are actually entrances to a tunnel that is below the castle itself. Okay, so let's say, for example, that I am in the castle pub right now, but in order for me to complete my quest, I need to get all the way over here to the stables. Well, that's quite a roll, and I don't have any power cards that are really working for me to get me there faster. So what I'm going to choose to do is use the tunnel here right by the castle pub. So what I would do is I would roll the die, okay? And I only got, on this example, I only got a 3, which wouldn't get me there. But I'm sorry, yes, it would actually get me there. So I'd go 1, 2, 3. I'm now at the entrance to the tunnel, but the tunnel's locked. So I've got to play a card, and I'm going to play my pliers. And my pliers, I know, are like a pick lock that can get me into any locked room. So as my second move of my turn, I'm going to use my pliers. I am then going to enter the tunnel, and I can come out at any other tunnel entrance on the board, and I am choosing to come out right by the stables. So on my next turn, I'm only a roll of 3 or 4 away, or a ghost card away from entering the room that I need to go. Okay. In the same respect, put this back in here just as the example, if you are in any of the 4 tower rooms, there is an exit onto the tower wall. Okay. If I am here in the guards tower and I need to get, we'll just say, make it simple, I need to get over here to the staff quarters, well, that's quite a distance for me to move throughout the castle. So instead, for my turn, I am going to say, I'm going to use the castle wall, and I simply move all the way across to the castle wall. Now, the castle wall rooms, the castle room doors are locked from the outside. So even though I got here on one move, I'm going to have to play the pliers or a swinging weapon like a sword to break the lock open, in which case I can then enter into the staff quarters. Does it make sense? Use the tunnels, use the castle wall. It is a great way to speed up your game and complete your quest much faster. All right, let's play. Gameplay is as simple as figuring out the best strategy to complete more quests and collect more coins than your opponent. Remember that your objective is to collect 6 coins, have them melted into keys so you can unlock Dragon's Towers. Okay? So your different actions that you can take, again, you can use your reference card to follow along, okay, is this. Number 1, I can roll. Okay, you can just basically roll the die. This would be a 6 and move 6 spaces. Now, keep in mind that you do not have to complete your actions in any order. It is up to you. I can roll second, I can play a power card first, etc. So do keep that in mind. But I can roll. I can also play a power card. I can say, okay, my quest wants me to go to the armory. I'm not going to be able to roll there very easily, so I'm choosing to play a power card, and I'm going to play my fairy dust card. Fairy dust card says, fly to any other space on the board, so I'm going to go to the armory. That counts as one of my actions. I'm going to put this back in here for a second. The third thing I can do is swap. Okay, let's say that I needed gold bar I needed a currency to complete my quest, and I don't see any other currency out on the board. I can say I am going to swap a card. Remember, I have to use my protected cards to complete a quest or to play any action. So I say I'm going to swap. I'm going to pick up my gold bars rather. I now have 7 cards. I've got to get down to 6. So I say, I am now going to expose my chisel, okay? So you can roll, you can play a power card, you can swap with yourself, or a lot of fun of the game is trading with other players. So now let's say that I needed a food item to complete my quest, okay? I don't have one here, but I look over and I see that Scott here has some cheese. So I announce, Scott, I'd like to make a trade. I am going to take your cheese from you. Once again, I am at 7 cards, so I cannot do anything else until I get down to 6. I'm going to choose to lay down the gold bars that I just swapped for myself, just as an example. I am now down to 6. Scott says, Mike, thank you so much. I actually needed those gold bars to complete my quest. He would then take them and put them in his hand. He would also get down to 6. So we are at roll. We are at play a power card. We are at swap with yourself or trade with another player. And trading is what you're going to be doing a lot during the game. The last 2 actions that you can take on your turn are, number 1, to collect quest cards. And you do that by simply getting to the center of the board. Every time you get to the center of the board, you will then draw 2 new quest cards, okay? Now, do remember the rule that you can only have 2 quest cards in your possession at any time and working on them. So I've picked up 2. I now have 4. I'm going to look across my quests and determine which 2 of these I have a better chance of completing faster. I might say none of these are good. I'm going to throw them back in the discard pile. I may swap one out. I may swap both out. The choice is yours. But use this as a strategy. If you get stuck on a quest, head to the center, get some new quest cards, and you might see the items are either in your hand or available to steal or trade from another player. Okay? The last action you can take on your turn is actually completing a quest. So in this example, I'm going to announce I am completing a quest. You are then going to hand the card to the person to your right who will read it out loud as you complete your quest. And we do this simply to keep everybody honest, to make sure that people can see what they actually had to do. So in this example, it says collect 2 swinging weapons. I have a battle axe and I have a Viking hammer, both swinging weapons. Take them to the armory and exchange them for a coin. Look at this, I got 5 coins now. This drunk's only got 1 still. So that's just sort of how you play the game. Okay, so there are your six actions that you can take on every turn. Remember, just use your reference card each turn. It will take you a couple turns to really get used to what moves that you can make. At the end of each turn, you have 2 more things to do. First, you're going to draw a new card, and it's all based on where you have ended up on the board. So if I've ended up in the stables, which is a gray room, similar to the blacksmith and some other gray rooms, I'm going to take a gray tools and weapons card. If I land in a tan room, I'm going to take a tan trade good card. And if I land on any random space, I'm going to take a power card. Now note that the stairs leading up to all of the tower rooms are spaces. We're fixing the board, but you would take a power card if you do end up on the stairs. Okay? Now, the one exception to this is if you complete a quest on your turn, rather than drawing a card based on where you are actually going to reload your satchel and draw a card from each of the decks. So you'll be picking up 3 cards to reload your satchel because you'll be emptying it as you are completing your quest. Okay. The second thing that you need to do at the end of your turn is always make sure that you and every other player is down to 6 cards. This is going to take a little while to get used to, so everybody help each other out. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to lay down a card. I'm going to lay down my water. It is now exposed to be traded or stolen from me. Okay? All right. Here's how you win the game. Once you have gotten 6 coins total, you have collected enough coins, you are going to now head to the smelters. There are 4 of them throughout the center of the castle, okay? And I'm going to move to that space, and as an action, I am going to say, I would like to have my coins melted into 3 keys. Once you have your 3 keys on your next action, you will move into Dragon's Tower, and you have won the game. The full version of the game will have something else to do in the center, but we are not quite there yet, and we don't think it's necessary for the test play. Folks, thank you so much for taking the moment to watch not only this training video, but to do the test play for us. We're incredibly grateful. It's your feedback that is going to make Castle Break the #1 selling strategy game this holiday season. Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon.